According to the Prime Minister, hard things are hard.
We know that hard things are hard.
What? Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. I hope you're having a great day. Well, the first day of Parliament after the break and question period was quite lively. And as usual, the Prime Minister decided to, well, say stupid things.
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, as everyone in here knows, over the past couple of years, I've had lots of great conversations with the NDP, and I know they actually do care about Canadians and about delivering for them. Unfortunately, they have no idea how to do it, and as soon as hard things got hard, they turned tail and ran, Mr. Speaker. Wanted to avoid the criticisms of the mean old Conservatives and tried to save themselves. Well, the reality, Mr. Speaker, is we know that hard things are hard.
I think that we can all guess that sometimes hard things are hard. I would have thought that the exchange between Pierre and the Prime Minister would have been a little bit livelier than what it was. But Pierre was kind of subdued today. The sparks actually flew when Melissa Lantsman stood up and started questioning Chrystia Freeland.
The Honourable Member from Thornhill.
The Prime Minister gave the Finance Minister a real vote of confidence last week as he outsourced the job that she was supposed to have been doing for 4 years and gave it to a man who's not even in the Liberal caucus. First, the Prime Minister tried to fire her in the newspaper, and now she's being shoved aside for carbon tax Carney, a man focused on his own profits and his own corporate interests, who was brought in to serve as the de facto Finance Minister. She's lost her job responsibilities. She's lost her credibility. How long will the Phantom Finance Minister endure this humiliation? Who's going to tell her? She just got a demotion and he hired a guy that's not even elected to do her job. Does anyone believe that carbon tax Carney is going to tell the Prime Minister how to help a family afford groceries as the loudest cheerleader for carbon taxes ever? If the Finance Minister isn't completely humiliated by now, can she explain why Canadians should trust a man who is the #1 supporter of higher taxes to do her job?
And it continued after that with Michelle Rempel-Garner.
Summer after he argued that Atlantic Canadian home heating oil should be carbon tax loving Mark Carney spent a lovely summer of whimsy having champers at the Royal Box at Wimbledon and rubbing shoulders at a swish cocktail party with a wealthy CEO who yesterday coincidentally got millions of dollars of tax dollars. This is not someone who's in touch with the struggle of average Canadians, but neither is the Prime Minister. Did he push aside his now phantom female cabinet minister because carbon tax loving Mark Carney could get him into fancier parties than she can? At a time when so many people are struggling to make ends meet and pleading for someone to fix the budget, I'm struggling to find a reason why the Prime Minister would put an out-of-touch elitist, active archpriest of carbon price profiteering who has massive conflicts of interest in charge of the federal budget while shunting aside his female cabinet minister. What a feminist. Why does the now Phantom Finance Minister have to get approval for Canada's fall economic statement from carbon tax, conflict of interest, Mark Carney? Yeah.
But she was actually triple teamed because Michelle Ferreri joined in on the fun.
Mr. Speaker, we have two sources saying the view of some senior officials within the PMO, including Chief of Staff Katie Telford, that the Phantom Finance Minister has been ineffective in selling the government's economic policies. So, it's curious because we have a fake feminist Prime Minister who says he's all for women. Taxes are up, costs are up, the economy's in the toilet, and this carbon tax Mark Carney is now going to quadruple the carbon tax on all home heating across Canada. Yeah. So why is this Phantom Finance Minister okay with being publicly humiliated by this fake feminist Prime Minister? Woo! Mr. Speaker, it is not Conservatives saying that. It's the Prime Minister's Chief of Staff, Katie Telford, for the record. And so I guess the question is before this Phantom Finance Minister. She simply has two choices. Is she going to join the graveyard of Liberal female ministers under this fake feminist Prime Minister? Or, like Jody Wilson-Raybould, Jane Philpott? Or will she continue to be publicly humiliated? Yeah.
I particularly like Michelle Ferreri's comments. It got to the heart of the matter. The Prime Minister is not a feminist, and, well, anybody who questions him is kicked out of the cabinet and out of caucus. But that wasn't the only lively exchange. Let's see what Calgary Forest Lawn Member of Parliament had to say.
The honourable member from Calgary, Forest Lawn.
The PBO proved that orange jumpsuit, handcuff-wearing minister is lying when he said that more Canadians pay into this.
I am going to ask the honourable member to rephrase his question, to not use language which is normally considered unparliamentary. The honourable member from Calgary Forest Lawn from the top.
What this orange jumpsuit wearing, handcuff loving minister doesn't understand is that the PBO proved Canadians pay more into this scam than what they get back. And it's done nothing to stop a single forest fire or flood. It's a scam and nothing else. And the leader of the NDP continues to prop this carbon tax scam up so he can get his $2.2 million pension. That's why he voted in favor of it 24 times. Call a carbon tax election now so Canadians can axe the tax and kick this carbon tax costly coalition to the curb.
Of course, he was referring to the Environment Minister, Stephen Guilbeault, but the Environment Minister didn't respond to that question or those remarks. I think that this has set the tone for the fall session, and it will be quite lively, especially on Wednesdays, which is Party Leader Day. So you can expect Justin Trudeau, Pierre Poilievre, and Jagmeet Singh to be in the House on Wednesdays, duking it out with one another. And I'm sure that Pierre Poilievre will not be as subdued as he was today. But the big question on everybody's mind is, when will a non-confidence vote be called? And will the NDP and the Bloc support it? I personally don't think the NDP or the Bloc will support a non-confidence vote. Not this early. Jagmeet Singh will wait at least until February, until he gets his pension. And the Bloc, as seen in one of my previous videos last week, is enjoying their newfound power, being the kingmakers, as it were, in the government. I suspect that we will have to wait until October 2025 before we can get rid of this disastrous government. But that's just my opinion. I'd love to know what you have to say. Put your comments down below. And while you're at it, please like this video, share with your friends and on social media. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Oh, and by the way, there are links in the show notes of this video that will bring you to all of my social media, including my website, where you can sign up for the Canadian Firearm Safety course, if you're on Vancouver Island or will be for a couple of days. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.